Can you do me a favor and pronounce your name? Margoszka. And she's the director of elles, which just played here at Toronto Film Festival. Talk a little bit about the name of the film.
The name of the film?
Yes.
Because the old name of the film was Sponsoring. And we changed it to elles because while shooting during the post-production, we find out that the film is not only a social issue about, being sponsored by someone and being prostitute. It's a film about women.
Right.
It's a film about 3 women, and that's why we changed the title.
Right, because it's a universal...
She.
Right, exactly. That's what I thought. You said in the Q&A that when it started out, it was a film about sexuality and female sexuality.
Yeah, exactly.
Female sexuality. When it finished, was that still what the film was about for you?
I think it was kind of opposite. Where at the beginning I had the idea it has to be a film about female sexuality.
Okay.
But then it was kind of struggle with co-writer and Marianne, producers. Not struggle, but like discussion. They wanted to do it more social level. And then while shooting and in post, I think at the end it's more about women's sexuality.
Okay.
Then it's like a circle.
So it came back to a full circle.
Came back to the kind of first idea, in my opinion.
But you can make a social commentary film and still have it be not like hit you over the head social commentary.
Yes,
I think this movie has a message.
Yeah, the movie has a completely message, but I didn't want it to be, how to say, pushy with the message, like to make a statement.
Right.
I think it's bullshit, to make a statement.
Right. So, do you think it's a feminist film?
Somehow, but I'm asking myself how the real radical feminists will react to the film. It's a big question.
It is an interesting question.
It is very interesting because it might be like they can hate.
Right.
Or they can love.
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
even I feel feminist. I feel feminist, but I'm not in any, feministic group.
Right.
Because I don't want to be in any
There are
group.
no groups.
Yeah, I don't like groups.
It's not a group. It's just the way you live. It's the way you think about the world.
I'm absolutely feminist.
So how difficult was it to shoot the sex scenes?
For me, it was difficult. It was difficult because I had the idea in my mind to make a scenes which are going to be excited for the audience, especially for men. I don't for women too, but to make the people like excited, and then they feel ashamed that they were excited.
Right.
That was the idea. Then at the beginning we are searching what to show, and then while shooting the erotic scenes, we were very, very precise. No any like wow, nothing like this. It was like chirurgy, like a surgery operation.
Okay.
Very like do this, do that. Okay, like very calm and very precise.
Okay.
Without any excitation.
Okay. Usually when we see movies about prostitution, it's about girls and women being forced into prostitution.
Yeah.
And it's a very different kind of approach where these girls choose in some way but also really have no choice. Like the Polish woman, girl, she can't stay, she can't survive. She knows this is the way she's going to survive. And the girl, the poor girl, this is how she's going to get educated. So it's a commentary on kind of where the choices that women have to be successful in some ways.
It's not easy, For women, the work is still not easy for women.
Right.
For these 2 girls, not, and even for Juliette Binoche, and it's also not, because she's living in a kind of social, things like she's wife or husband, and she has to do the dinner, even she doesn't. She hates the friends of husband, on many levels. But I think it's very unique, and it is, in my opinion, kind of feministic. They are, how to say it, they are not victims, those girls. No. They don't have an alpha, they are not victims. They are kind of powerful, even if they are lost somehow.
Right.
They are very powerful. And, of course, somehow they don't have a choice, but somehow it is also their choice.
Right.
Paradoxically. Then it's hard to say if they're free or if they are absolutely, hard to say.
It's interesting how Juliette's character was surrounded by men in her home, and the comment for me on that was like this whole kind of pornography in some ways. It wasn't just about prostitution, it's about the availability of women, of images of women throughout our culture is everywhere and pervasive. Is that one of the kind of statements that you were trying to make without making a statement? Like, what if she had a daughter?
What if I think it might be different.
Right.
Yeah, of course. When she's surrounded by men, and of course, like always, I don't know why in my films the men are pretty weak, if you know what I mean. Maybe because I'm kind of strong and tough woman. And yeah, I think it might be hard for her to live with 3 men.
Right.
You know what I mean? That if his daughter is different, it's different because they can talk about many things. They can talk about sexuality. They have something, together. Men are, sometimes oppressive.
Well, the line where the husband said, don't bring up your feminist stuff at the dinner tonight, and she was just like, oh, shut up, and someone.
No, it's like each day the same stuff.
Don't start up, right?
Yeah.
Last question. So, okay, I lost my train of thought. What was the hardest part about making this film?
The hardest part, editing.
Editing.
Yeah, to choose exactly the chronology, in which chronology and how it has to appear, dramaturgy. We had to kind of build again dramaturgy on editing because this is not a line story. It's not, it's a not chronological story.
Okay.
We have to structure it precisely on editing.
Okay, last question. Advice for other women directors.
Be yourself, be a woman, feel the power of being a woman, and don't be afraid of anything. And then you can make whatever you want.
Awesome.